never really cared because you said your parents never gave you hugs, and there's a child you will never love. You made me love so hard, but then you threw it away. You like to open skies, and then you blame it on me. You're someone I could never be with. You joke about.
You met at a trendy coffee shop as suggested by your mutual friend. You were a bit nervous but also excited to see who this mystery date was. When you saw him walk in, your heart skipped a beat. He was even more handsome in person, and he had this charming smile that lit up the room. You couldn't help but feel a rush of excitement as you waited for him to approach your table. When he finally did, he extended his hand and introduced himself. "Hi, I'm Jimin. It's a pleasure to meet you." His grip was firm and confident, sending a small jolt through your body. You couldn't believe how lucky you felt at that moment. "Hi Jimin, I'm Ryan. It's nice to meet you too," you said, attempting to maintain your composure while facing the situation. But the truth was, you were beaming on the inside. You couldn't believe how much you were enjoying this conversation with him. He was intelligent, funny, and seemed to really listen to what you had to say. It was unlike any other date you'd been on before. "So, Ryan, tell me something about yourself that not many people know," Jimin said, leaning in close. You couldn't help but feel a wave of butterflies in your stomach. You took a deep breath and decided to share something personal with him. "Well, I've always wanted to learn how to play the violin." You paused, wondering what his reaction would be. Jimin's eyes lit up. "Really? I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano. We should exchange numbers and maybe practice together sometime." His offer took you by surprise, but you found yourself grinning from ear to ear. Compared to previous dates you had gone on, this one felt unique. It felt like potential. You both exchanged numbers and agreed to get together for a practice session soon. As the date progressed, you found yourself laughing and enjoying each other's company even more. You could tell that Jimin was genuinely interested in getting to know you, which was a welcome change from the superficial conversation you'd had on other dates. When it came time to part ways, you both hesitated for a moment, not wanting the date to end. Jimin leaned in closer and kissed you gently on the cheek, causing a warm tingle to spread through your body. "Thank you for a wonderful date, Ryan. I had a great time getting to know you. Can I call you again soon?" he asked, his eyes hopeful. Blushing, you smiled shyly up at him. Over the next few weeks, you and Jimin went on several more dates, each one more romantic than the last. You discovered that you had a lot in common and enjoyed each other's company immensely. You even began to fall in love with him. What you didn't know, however, was that Jimin was actually a billionaire. He'd set up the whole blind date just to get to know you, and he'd been planning this for months. He'd even hired a private investigator to make sure you were the right person for him. One night, as you were getting ready for your date, your best friend called you in a panic. Ryan, you need to sit down, she said breathlessly. I just found out something about Jimin, something big. She proceeded to tell you that Jimin was actually a billionaire and that he owned a massive corporation. You were shocked, to say the least. You couldn't believe that Jimin had been keeping this secret from you all this time. As you met up with Jimin for your date, you couldn't help but feel a mixture of emotions. Part of you was angry that he'd lied to you, while another part was still infatuated with him. You decided to confront him about it, hoping for an explanation. Jimin, I know something about you. Something big, you said, trying to keep your voice steady. You're a billionaire and you own a huge corporation? Jimin sighed heavily. I know, Ryan. I'm sorry I didn't tell you earlier. I just wanted to get to know you first, without all of that getting in the way. He reached out and took your hand in his. I care about you, Ryan, and I want to be with you. Can you forgive me? You looked into his sincere eyes and felt a wave of emotion wash over you. You knew that he truly cared for you, and you found yourself struggling to maintain your anger. I'm not sure, you said, taking a deep breath. I need some time to think about this. Can we please take a break from dating for a while? I need to sort out my feelings. Jimin nodded understandingly and agreed to give you the space you needed. He promised to be there for you whenever you were ready to talk again. Over the next few weeks, you found yourself thinking about Jimin constantly. You missed spending time with him and the way he made you feel. You realized that the fact that he was a billionaire didn't change who he was as a person, and that you genuinely liked him for who he was. You finally decided to give him another chance. When you finally met up with him again, you felt nervous but excited. You didn't want to lose him again. As you looked into his eyes, you knew that you had made the right decision. Jimin, I want to give us another chance, you said, your voice shaking slightly. I care about you too much to let this go. He smiled warmly and took your hand in his. Thank you, Ryan. I'm glad you feel that way. I care about you more than anything else in this world. You lean in and feeling a rush of affection for him. Let's make this work, Jimin. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. He smiled back at you, relief evident in his eyes, and pulled you closer. I do too, Ryan. I promise to make you happy and to always be honest with you. I love you. You smiled, knowing that this time things were different. As a team, you could tackle any challenge that comes your way. Sometimes, behind the veils of secrets lies a second chance for an unexpected love to bloom, a chance to embrace the person beyond the facade, weaving a tale of trust, forgiveness, and a love that sees beyond the hidden truths.
너는 왔어 내 곁에 있는 것처럼 웃어주고 안아줘 baby 근데 왜 날 믿어봐야만 해